Hello and welcome to Mock Productions. You're here, me, Matthew, and we are back with, yes, I am going to say this, a news update for Skylanders 5. It is amazing that we are getting round to this right now, and it's pretty awesome because whilst I've been away for a week, a lot of stuff has happened. Now, I have also showed you one part of this update, and I did say I was going to talk about certain parts. But what we're going to focus on is the picture which I showed you before, and if you haven't already seen that, it was in the unboxings which I put up the week previously. And basically, it just shows a new Skylander character, or supposed new Skylander character. Now, that has sort of been confirmed in a way, and possibly already given a name, which is rather interesting. We do have new concepts to this new game, which I will be going over. We do have a lot of evidence to back this up. We've got websites, we've got forums, which are all suggesting all of these things, and even showing it on some, places where you'd normally buy the Skylanders from, which is rather interesting. But this one is going to focus on just, on the general stuff, plus the fact that we might be also getting to know a lot more about Skylanders 5 this Wednesday. Apparently, on the 3rd of June, there should be some sort of update sort of thing which is going on, and it'll tell us all about what's going on with this new game, probably give us a little bit of a demo, show off some of the new characters, which is going to be awesome. It's going to be just like last year, because I cannot wait to get that started again. I know a lot of people were really interested in these news updates, and if you are joining me for the first time, stick around for this whole video, and if not, subscribe, because there's going to be a lot of news, a load of news, and I'm intending to make it as interesting as possible, bringing in, different concepts, talking about it, giving a more in-depth sort of feature, breaking them down but giving in-depth sort of looks as to each picture or each character or each like that. But you can help me at the same time by commenting what you'd like to see in particular for these news updates this year. Now obviously last year I think there was probably over about 40, I think we got to either 30 or 40, or in between there. But it's up to you. You can comment and tell me. I know a lot of subscribers have stayed with me, and viewers and all that. They've stayed with me throughout the course of the Trap Team. All the news updates, that was fantastic. And now I want to start this again. But anyway, just a brief introduction before we jump over to a different screen, showing off that character which I showed you before. So, let's do it. Okay, so here he is. I'm guessing it's a he. But basically this thing it's very tech-like, and it obviously looks as if it's got fire on the bottom. Now, I don't know if that is to do with the new features, or it's just a new way of making it more... I don't know, it's defining it more, The fire elements were just bits of spikes with a bit of paint splattered on the top to show a bit more ferocity. But this one looks interesting. It's very clear, almost as if it could be a Trap Master, but who knows. Having a little look at the top of the head, it does look sort of lizard-shaped. The sort of skin on the top of the head, but also as if maybe it's got a mask. It does remind me, if you get what I'm going with this, of Magna Charge in a way. The tech aspect and this sort of it's sort of a one-legged creature. I don't know if you want to call that a leg or just a hovering, fluffy, scratchy... It just looks like a big mishmash of different Skylanders on this. I don't think that's the new concept of just being mishmash, but there we go, mishmash. You could have Skylanders mishmash, just having different Skylanders mixed together. But no, it does look really awesome. It looks like he's got gauntlets on his arms, bit of armour. I love in the wings because they look really, really cool. They reminded me sort of what's it called? The bellows. What's her name? Oh, there's so many characters. Torch, there we go, Torch. That Torch had the sort of the same techie bellows that he's got on his wings. Hopefully this character might be shown off when this game is announced properly, and it might be coloured. If not, this could be the actual version of it, which could be interesting because it could just be a very smoky character. The base is rather interesting as well. I did mention about that translucent, fiery sort of look, but the bottom of it, I can't put my head on what it looks like. It either looks like a cannon, or the top of a car or an engine or something weird like that. Or an accordion. I'm just pulling bits out of all of these things, but it does look very accordion-like, if that makes any sense. But I mean, obviously you can see this has just been taken from somebody and posted on a website. It's obviously gone around everywhere, and people have been talking about it. And I just wanted to jump in there and talk a little bit about this one. But he does, I think, if I'm putting the name right on him, he does have a name, and I will cover that as we continue on. But for now, let's just move over a different picture of him, just to see what that looks like. Okie doke, so here he is again. Now, obviously, the picture is slightly cut up on the wings section, and that's because basically this was a picture taken of some guy actually holding him. What's interesting here, there's not a lot more shown off here, but the base looks more prominent here, and it does. Now it looks a bit like I don't know. It's like they've ripped off the top of a train engine or something ridiculous like that. Hopefully, if it's painted or if we get it in hand or see more pictures which are a bit more HD, then we might actually be able to actually think what this is. But for now, I sort of struggle as to think what this creature is, because like I said, it's a bit of a mishmash. It reminds me of Scratch. It reminds me of, what's it called? Magna Charge, like I said. Night Shift as well, it reminds me of, with the ghostly sort of bottom. But then again, it looks like a fire element. Who knows? We might be surprised at what this is. Plus the fact that, is it a core sized, or is it like a giant size, or Trapmaster, or Swap Force size? We don't know at present, but there we go. So let's just move on to something a little bit different and go from there. Okie doke, so this one in particular is rather interesting. The fact that the first two you can see look identical, but the last one is slightly squished down. Now, I'm not implying that this is the new feature, but could these be a little bit more flexible, maybe having like wire inside them and you can move them? Or is it just a total mistake that they have made in creating them? Again, the bases aren't that prominent here and I can't see a lot of detail, but his chest is sort of fluffy. From here I can get like a very fluffy fur look. The wings, they look as if they're going to be fire, but then the top of the wings, like I said, they're very techy and bellowy. The top of his head, I don't know what that is. It could be a lizard, it could be, I don't know. It's got a mask on, but I am really liking the claws. They do look really cool. And I'll tell you what, if the character looks like this in, when it's finished, I don't really mind it being just grey. But I think there will be colour to this. I just think this is a bit of a prototype one. But who knows, it might not even be the finished one. It could be a completely different pose, or not even be in this one at all, and could be in the next game. This could be Skylanders 6. But my guess is that this one could be maybe a starter pack character, and I'll tell you that in some other interesting news. So, what is more interesting is the fact that the fifth game now has a name, I'm not 100% sure what exactly is going to be going on here, but the thing is, last year this happened the exact same site, the exact same time, before it was actually announced. They were put up, all of these names, so the Skylanders Superchargers in terms of the fifth game, but with Trap Team they did the exact same thing on this exact same site. Now, looking at all of this information is obviously saying, that this game is going to be on Wii, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4. Now, this is only the one page. Since I've taken this screenshot, the page has disappeared, and it's slightly weird that when you click on the button, and I will be able to just show you that on the actual search engine, but when you actually go to click on it, it'll just say, nope, it's not there. And that's done it before, when they've taken a character off before it should be on there. So this could be giving us some big hints as to Skylanders 5 being called Superchargers, which does sound pretty awesome. And it seems to be spaced together, not separate, so it's not two words, it's just one, which is rather weird. But obviously, what I saw from this site was that it's Wii U, Wii, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, Xbox 360, Xbox One, and 3DS. However, they have mentioned, and I will show you this comment in a second, that the Wii and the 3DS are going to have different stories. Now, my guess is that might be because they're not as advanced as the other consoles. I'm guessing it could be that, but I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. Obviously, with myself, I'll be getting it on the Wii U when it comes out, but we don't know when it's coming out. Obviously, it says they're currently unavailable, but it is very interesting that this was put up, and then it's taken down, and you think, well, what's going on? So, I would keep very close to what is going on here. So anyway, I'm just going to show you another screenshot when I went into this into the different ones, just to show you what it actually says on them. So here we go. So here is something rather interesting. Obviously, when I've clicked on the Wii starter pack, this all comes up. Obviously, it's not going to come up with much. You know, it says it's not available yet, but it does say down here, starter pack includes video game, obviously, Portal of Power, 2 Skylanders Superchargers, so they are putting that in one word as a supercharger. This is very interesting. 1 Skylanders vehicle. That is going to be awesome. A collection poster, that always comes, but it also says here, and this is what I mentioned just then, gameplay content features and functionality will differ for Wii and 3DS platforms. Details are to be announced. So I'm guessing maybe that if when this game is fully announced, that they will actually say, you know, the Wii and 3DS can, you know, go down. And it's sort of like what Trap Team had when I think the 3DS only had like 16 different people you could capture or something weird like that. But yeah, pretty interesting. However, there is something else which you can see. Obviously, I saw when I was looking through this, so I will show you that now. Okay, so looking at the Wii U one now, now it's completely different. And this is where I think other people were thinking that this is going to be called Skylanders Overdrive, which again does sound pretty awesome, and if the vehicles are implemented, does also sound pretty awesome. Reading this though, it says, kick your adventure into overdrive with the Skylanders Superchargers starter pack. And it basically says it contains the video game New Portal of Power, so it's a completely different one, obviously. We've got 2 Skylanders Superchargers, again it said that before, a vehicle collection poster. However, underneath, this is very, very good. Skylanders is in peril. I don't know if you can read this, but I'll read it for you. Skylands is in peril. Chaos has unleashed his most evil weapon yet, the Doom Station of Ultimate Doomstruction. Now, where Chaos is coming from, I have no idea, but I'm guessing that will be fathomed out once we play the game. I mean, it'd probably be like Glumshanks' like Smash the Trap. I don't know. With all the Skylands on the verge of collapse, a special team called the Superchargers. Very interesting that they're going with this again. They did it with Giants, they've done it with the Swap Force, and they've also done it with the Trapmasters. So another sort of elite team. They've been assembled to pilot an unstoppable fleet of incredible vehicles. So this is really interesting because we might be able to actually drive around in Skylands. Now, does that mean we might have streets? Does that mean we might actually have a multiplayer where we can drive around and hit each other? Who knows? But let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are on that. So then here we go. Now you and the Superchargers must embark on an epic adventure over land, undersea, and through the sky to stop chaos and save Skylands. Now, of course, we've done land. Have we done sea? Have we ever been in the sea in Sky? I don't think we've ever been in the sea. No, the last time I tried going in the sea, a shark ate me. And through the sky, we have flown in different things, but it's not freely. So I think my sort of hope and estimation is that we get a multiplayer, and this is sort of going on to my own sort of theories, is that I hope we get a multiplayer. I think that might also bump the fact that it's not for Wii and 3DS. Now, thinking of that makes sense. I don't think the Wii and 3DS are multiplayerable, if that is even a word. Please comment if that is a word, because if it's not a word, it should be. So if they are not I can't even say it now, multiplayerable, then I'd guess that everyone else, yeah, they are multiplayer. If you think about it, the Wii U is multiplayer because you can play with other people. Splatoon, that is one way big thing that is now, multiplayer. Every other one, Xboxes, they're all multiplayer. So I think that could be it. I think this is their way of possibly making multiplayer. Now, I'm not confirming it. Now, please don't read into that I am confirming it, because I am not confirming it. It's my own estimation from reading this and having a think about what it says there about it not being included for the Wii and the 3DS. So they will have separate games, whereas all the others where multiplayer is fully functional and available will happen. Plus the fact that it has also been said that Vicarious Vision are making this, and I think last year it wasn't them. I think they did Swap Force, so they've had 2 years to create this. 2 years is a long time if they're making a multiplayer, and hopefully I think maybe people might be happy to see a few chapters but a big amount of multiplayer. I think that would be a way of expanding it a lot. And also, I think this comes into something that I'd like to see, is that the fact I'd like to stop making the games. Just hear me out. I don't mean stop completely, but I mean stop giving us games, stop giving us portals, but they give us DLCs. So that way they're downloadable. You can just download and carry on. So say, for example, Superchargers isn't the last one, which I'm guessing it's not. And I will continue to keep getting Skylanders because I love them. They're fantastic. But if they were to stop Skylanders, they could bring out DLCs and downloadable content. New characters could be up. They've done it before. They can do it with any of them. And I think on the Wii U and all those little figures, the amiibos and all that, they get updated, and there's updates thrown onto the consoles. So it's not as if that couldn't be done. But that could be something to think about in the future, which could be pretty awesome, and might even save you a little bit of money to sort of save up every month or so, rather than buying a constant starter pack and a portal, which I know some people are a little bit iffy and not all that about. But pretty interesting stuff here, so we'll move on to some other stuff just to give you a bit of a brief stuff. It's all interesting. I'm just really excited. Anyway, we'll move on now, so there we go. Okay, so on a forum site that I was looking at, and this is Dark Spyro, if you haven't already added me on Dark Spyro, you might want to just to, maybe send a few private messages or something, and it might come in handy if there's any contests. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. But I'll put a link in the description below so you can, quickly just go ding, and it's like, yay, and I'm your friend. So, brilliant. Anyway, looking at this, I mean, you've probably already read it and thought, what? There's 2 Skylanders already announced? And a vehicle with a name? Yes, there is. Now, earlier I showed you that picture of that sort of serpenty, snaky, fiery element thing. We don't know what it is actually going to be or called, and if it is its actual name, then I'm hoping it is, because it sounds pretty awesome, and it sort of matches what it looks like. So, here it says here, I'm only interested in the top bit showing you this, is starter pack includes video game, new portal of power, 2 Skylander Superchargers, then it actually does like a sort of equals or minus symbol if you want, which says Spitfire and Super Shot Stealth Elf. So Stealth Elf is coming back as a Series 4. That is pretty awesome. So we're having a Series 4 but not a Series 5 in the starter pack. This might all change. This might not even be properly announced, but this is all theoretical stuff. It hopefully will be confirmed pretty soon. However, Spitfire. Now, let me go through this. Number 1, fire links to fire element. Spit sounds like a bit of a snake when they sort of spit venom or bite you or anything like that. That Skylander looks very snaky. So my guess is that one is called Spitfire. So that snaky one is Spitfire. We have no idea what Super Shot Stealth Elf looks like, but going by Super Shot, I'm guessing. I mean, she throws the what they called I was going to say boomerangs. They're not boomerangs. The knife things. So Super Shot. I don't know. Maybe she's got like a targeting system engaged on her or something. I don't know. I mean, the last one made her a ninja. What was that called? Was it Stealth Elf? Yeah, that was it. No. Her name is Stealth Elf. Ninja Stealth Elf, that was what it was called. Oh dear. And then the vehicle is actually being called, and I really like this name, Hot Steak. And I tell you what, if that vehicle is not steak on wheels, then it should be. But who knows? I could be going way off here. It could be a cow on wheels. I mean, it's Skylands. I mean, well, actually, if it was called Hot Lamb, then yes, Skylands lamb vehicle. That makes perfect sense. And it also says the collection brochure featuring the complete set of Skylanders, Superchargers, and their vehicles. So, my guess is, this is another theory, is that these Superchargers are going to be sort of like the Trapmasters, where you can't go into a certain zone without their vehicle. But with the Trapmasters, it was you can't go in the zone with that element. So my guess is that there's going to be different sorts of vehicles. So I'm going to say flying, underground. I'd say underground. I'd say a digging one going underground would be pretty awesome. You've got flying, digging, water, normal travel. I would say there might be like a shrinky car, and the way I'm sort of trying to describe it is that there's like a small area that you need to get in, and using the car that shrinks lets you in that area. The same goes for an expanding car, so it will actually increase in size. I think this is what they're going to be going for if this is even true. I know a lot of people have actually been saying that they'd like to see vehicles. The one thing that I don't like or will not really be impressed with is that if the vehicles are engaged, will there be enough room to drive around in them? Because I really don't want to be like limited to where I go. If I'm going to have a vehicle, I want a street. I want like some sort of place to have a bit of a party and move around in, and not be like confined to a small area. I'm hoping people are on the same sort of wavelength with that. I think if people want vehicles and if people want multiplayer, give them, because people just really want that. And that is basically, I think, summing up really what I really want to see, is that these vehicles, if they are going to be in this game, they need to not be limited, and they need to just go. They have to be free and go off and do their own thing, and not be stopped by invisible walls and stuff, because a lot of games do that now. And same for the multiplayer. There's got to be different challenges and all that. And that also comes right back around in a sort of circle to something else that I mentioned quite a few months ago, but we'll go on to that right now. Okay, so a few months ago, you've obviously probably already seen this picture, obviously only half of it. There's obviously people playing this game and they're enjoying it. Now, the controls they seem to be using are Xbox controls. However, it looks as if it's on the computer. Now, this is what I was coming on to, is that the controls that they were using were not computer controls. However, is this going to be a PC alternative to Skylanders 1 on a PC? I'm not saying that's going to just be called Skylanders, because people have been saying it's called Battle Flag, which makes sense if you're going to have maybe like controller flags and stuff. But is this going to be at all in Skylanders 5? Are we going to have this sort of arena, area, multiplayer functionality here? Plus the fact that in that top, I'm just noticing this now, bottom left, is that a vehicle? Or is that just a special bonus feature which shows you that your special powers are ready? That could be very interesting to find out. Hopefully this picture will be, maybe it might not even be brought up again and shown again, but maybe soon we might be having more than one Skylander game a year. It could be 2. Or this is just an alternative for the PC. So any PC gamers out there can actually get into Skylanders on their PC. They did do it before. I think they had that online game where you just plugged your portal into the USB and off you go. You could just sort of put your character on, but it was sort of limited and the graphics were a little bit meh. But this is interesting, and I think this could be an interesting concept to bring into this, the 5th game. And obviously the sheep there is not really getting a vibe of the sort of Superchargers. I'm not getting the and especially the name. The name does not fit in there as Superchargers. But it is interesting that this has been brought up, plus the fact that this new game is featuring vehicles. So this could be very, very interesting, and I am looking forward to learning more about it in the future. Now, hopefully it should be, or it could be, or it might be this week. And if it is this week, then I'm going to be showing so much off, because I just cannot wait to see what's going to be happening. Because normally the videos, the pictures and everything that comes out they're so informative, and there's going to be a lot of information to dissect and go through and have a look at and discuss with all of the subscribers and viewers on the channel, because I want to know your thoughts on everything that I've mentioned right now in this update. It's amazing to be back doing these update videos, and I will continue to do it. They're just fantastic fun, just to be able to just keep talking and talking and talking and talking all the time about all of these different things. Me babbling on, you don't want to listen to that. You want to know about all the updating news, and that is basically it. But if you have found me for the first time, like I said in the beginning, make sure to hit the subscribe button below. You can also, hit those likes buttons, so I know that you're enjoying the update videos. And maybe if, you've got a few little, a few hints and tips, or you just want to give your own opinion on some of the stuff that I've mentioned, let me know exactly what part you're talking about and your own description, as well as giving me a bit of advice on what I can do to brighten up these things, because obviously at the moment having limited pictures is very limited to making a few animations and funny things and all that sort of stuff. But let me know in the comments below what you'd like to see and your own thoughts on everything that I have said. So there we go, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I shall see you all in the next video on the channel. Quick thing is that Splatoon will not be on today, but it will be on tomorrow, and I will do a double bill of Splatoon tomorrow to make up for this. I really wanted to get this out because I thought a lot of Skylander people would be like, why isn't he doing any updates? So here you go, guys. Enjoy. So thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Thank you, and goodbye.